Hi, Stephanie Ray, the Accountability Evangelist. Today I'm going to speak to you about personal development and whose responsibility that is. You may already know the answer if you've been following me at all. The Accountability Evangelist, of course, is going to point the mirror and the finger in your direction when it comes to your own personal and professional development. This is really important. The development that you want to have for yourself has to be generated from you and curated by you and monitored by you, because otherwise it's not going to do anything. For it to be effective, it has to be meaningful for you, and it has to be meaningful enough that you're willing to make the sacrifices that are required to get that development. Now, sacrifice is a big word, and it doesn't have to be a lot. I'm not talking about a ton of time or money, but just the discipline that it takes to pursue the development that you want. A lot of people say, I want to get better at this, I want to get better at that, I want to be promoted in my job, etc. But it's not enough to just want something. You actually have to do the work to get it. And the person that has to do that work is you. That's why you are responsible for your personal and professional development. Now, if you work in an organization that offers a development path for you, please take advantage of it. And if you don't work in an organization that offers that, make one, make a path for yourself. If you work for yourself, as I do now, you can take advantage of lots of resources outside of your own organization to help you develop. Let's go back to being in an organization and contrast the two situations where there's an established path for growth and then there isn't. So the established path for growth would be a company that has a process already, hopefully a process of individual development planning that you can take advantage of. It would be a huge miss if you don't take advantage of it. You do not have to have this big aspiration to be promoted or keep climbing the ladder or whatever you want to call it in order to take advantage of development, because we all should be looking at improving and enhancing ourselves all the time, because that's how we become a better service to other people, by becoming better people. And we become better people through deliberate practice. And in the workplace and at home, you need to think about, what can I do differently to make my situation better, to better the lives of the people around me. And a lot of times it has to do with self-reflection and other study that's like that. And so in the workplace, a lot of times it is available to you. You may not realize it. So I recommend touching base with your human resources department, looking on your intranet, talking to other employees to find out what the resources are. Now, you probably have an employee assistance program, by the way, if you're in a company of any significant size. The EAP, as it's the acronym is called, often has resources that you can take advantage of for free, tons of them, and they go unutilized or underutilized. It drives me nuts. So please exploit that resource and get as much out of it as you possibly can. Now, let's say you're an organization that may not have the established individual development planning or career path or that type of thing. You can still drive your own development by requesting that you and your supervisor talk about it on a regular basis. Get their input about the plan, find out what they believe the gaps are in your development, whether your knowledge, skills, or abilities, document those, and agree on a plan to close those gaps, ideally focusing on wherever you want to go next. So the next place you want to go, you're going to want to do a little bit of research about that and figure out what's required to get that job. And then again, do that gap planning, close the gap with your individual development plan in collaboration with your supervisor. However, at all times, you are responsible. It is your job to schedule the meeting with your supervisor. It is your job to make any of those actions that are on there happen. Do not expect your supervisor to come looking for you and check in with you constantly on, did you do this? Did you do that? Because then responsibility is shifting to them and is not where it belongs. This is your personal and professional development. You need to take charge of it. And when you do that, it's very self-empowering, because you are going to accomplish things and you have only one person to thank for that, and that's yourself. Although technically you should thank everyone who supported you, of course, but really you did this. You're the one who made this happen. That's another great reason to take responsibility for your development, so that at the end you can feel the satisfaction of knowing that you kept a commitment to yourself, which is an awesome form of accountability. Thanks.